Good morning. If you remember, the white had stopped when I was coming back from Baraboo, and it turned out it was a shorted wire going to the fuel shutoff. When I looked into the wiring harness, there was a wire that had been melted. You could tell the insulation was melted years ago, and I think I had touched a metal retaining clip that holds the wire harness in place. So I replaced that, and that's working fine. I'm making some minor repairs at home here before I head to Burnett to the Dodge County Antique Power Club grounds. You see, I got the 60 loaded. I want to work on the throttle on that. I'm cleaning up the battery posts good because every once in a while it wouldn't start, and it turned out I think it was just corroded battery posts, so I took them all off, and I'm taking the time to clean them up good like I should. And if you remember, I started making some repairs on this scraper. I really want to take the scraper to the Dodge County Antique Power Club show and try it out behind the TD9 if possible. If you remember right, I have to make some ears with holes through to weld on here to hook it back up to the dolly to get the dolly under it. And there's the strap I'm cutting those out of. The scraper supplied its own spare parts because it appeared that someone tried to make a hitch and run it without the dolly. So I'm going to cut that hitch off completely. But I cut one of the straps off the side in order to make these ears out of to weld on that to get the dolly back underneath it. So let's get at it. So now I have both of the pieces cut out. And I plan to take my 36 Ford boom truck to the show with Alan Rudolph's name on the side. It was his. But I came and checked the tire that would always lose a little air. Has a slight problem. So I have to fix that. I already have a jack underneath it. I gotta get the wheel off. I gotta get an inner tube in it. When whoever welded up these cracks in the fenders, you see them all those nice welds. I'm sure the person never dreamt there'd be something clamped to that fender that would hold a little device that would film it all, uses a telephone computer, and send the information all over the world in a matter of seconds. But that's how we've progressed. Now let's get those lug nuts off. I already broke them loose. Now I gotta jack it up. it's a good thing these shows take place, because sometimes that somewhat forces me to make these repairs. And as if you've noticed, it's got one broken off stud, but that doesn't hurt for the little bit this gets used. One wheel off, you know what that means? More work. Now I'm thinking it's 25 years ago probably since I put these tires on, but I don't think they should still come off too bad. At least I'm hoping. And you will notice that there's no split in this ring. I will show you how these work. Oh. See, it's starting to come off. Now we'll pound it back the other way. And just like that, it's off. If you look at these rings, the retaining lip here disappears, and the same thing happens on the other side, and that's what allows you to move it back and forth and lift it off. Now I'll flip it over and see if the tire will come off. I think it will. Oh, I think this tire's gonna come right off. There it goes. get the tube and flap out of there. There's the flap. There's the tube. If I don't have a tube, I may just go to Farm and Fleet, get a new valve stem to put on here. So one step closer to getting to Burnett. It's at Dodge County Antique Power Show. That flap is in kind of rough shape. I'll probably cut a piece of rubber with a hole in it to lay over the top of there. Here I'm making a spacer bushing because the 1-inch bolt I have for a pin to put the scraper dolly on is too small, but 1-inch drill bit is all I have, and I only have a certain amount of time, and this will do for now. I'm sure saying this will do for now will drive some of you guys crazy, but it will. I don't have a piece that has the exact right ID and OD. I don't feel like putting a lot of time into it. I don't have a lot of time right now, but this will square it up when I want to weld them on, and it will take up some of the play when I assemble it. You got to remember, this is going to see almost no use. You know, fill a pan a few times a year is probably all it'll ever see. So I'm going to get at tightening this up and see how it fits on where I have to weld it to. There, with the spacer tightened in there, I think that's going to be a pretty good fit there. So now it'll be time to get this welded onto that pivot bolt that I took out of the scraper. Now, as far as the inner tube for the 36 Ford, no one locally had a valve stem to put on the other tube, so I found another tube that has a good valve stem, but it has holes in it. It's an 8 1/4 20 versus 750 20, but it'll work. I've patched 3 holes there, and there's a 4th one there, and I only have 1 patch left, so I hope that'll do it. Back to the scraper hitch. That's looking pretty good. I think it's ready to weld up. I have to get it over by the welder where my leads will reach and start to weld that up. Well, here we go. you don't have to watch me weld that all up. Well, here it is, all welded up. Cooled off enough to hang on to. So I'm gonna take the bolt out. See how much stress is on that bolt after all the welding. Oh, none at all. So they stayed lined up really good. Couldn't ask for more than that. Spacer comes out, rings like a bell. I think the welds look pretty darn good. So that's ready to go on in the morning, because I think I'm done for today. We'll get at this bright and early in the morning, hopefully get it together, load it up, and up to Burnett to the Dodge County Antique Power Club show. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy it. As far as the inner tube, I wish I had a new one, but I don't. So I got to get a couple more patches for a couple more of the holes, see if it'll turn out. And like I said, I think this is it for my videoing today. And I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.